one red, pour out the Jameson for ancestors to swig.
You rescue me yet again. You put me first everywhere. You make me feel better than the mother dudes. You rescue me yet again. You put me first everywhere. You make me feel better than the mother dudes.
Okay, that we don't know about, we'll never know. Or if it's somebody, who, was passed down generational wealth. And where that generational wealth came from? Oh, it came from your great-great-great-grandfather, having a plantation and, having slaves and stuff like that. That's where your wealth came from, slavery. But you would never, ever think twice about giving black people reparations, even though you owned slaves, and slaves pretty much built all the money that you have. But you'll still look at it and be like, oh no, I don't benefit from slavery at all. This is the world we live in.
Into a white Jesus, asking for heaven to send them somebody who's going to help them solve their problems. We're the only group. I'm not talking about your children, brother. There you go with ego and selfishness. I did not say you did not have a plan for the children in your house. I did not say you did not have a plan for the children in your household. I did not say you did not have a plan for the children who live under your roof. I said we. I know it's hard for you self-hating Negropeans to think in terms of race first. I know this. The former slave is almost unable to think in terms of race. I understand it's hard for a people who've been told for 500 years that being a black African is the worst curse in human existence. I know this is what you believe. The next thing that separates Africans from everybody else is the worship of money and materialism. We are a laughing stock in this country because we worship money and materialism. Nobody else worships money and materialism. Black people have single-handedly made billionaires out of white manufacturing companies. Single-handedly, Louis Vuitton. Single-handedly, Gucci. Single-handedly, all these companies that we worship who don't even like black people. Worshiping, look at the gangster rappers. Look at these goofy ass gangster rappers who get on the video waving stacks of cash. When is the last time you seen a white musician get on the video and wave stacks of cash? When's the last time you seen a Chinese musician get on a video and wave stacks of cash? When is the last time you seen a European Jewish musician get on a video and wave stacks and stacks and stacks of money? Who does that except black folks? The white man don't worship money and materialism. White man worship power. Chinese don't worship money and materialism. Chinese worship power. Arabs don't worship money and materialism. Arabs worship power. European Jews don't worship money and materialism. European Jews worship power. And the Negro worships the money the white man makes and the materialism that the white man sells. And you wonder why we get no respect. How the hell we got rappers talking about all this money they got? Somebody help me out. We got all these rappers and all these athletes and all these actors and all these singers with all this money. We ain't got a single black Wall Street in America. Jay-Z is a billionaire. Kanye is a billionaire. LeBron is a billionaire. Bob Johnson is a billionaire. Whitney Houston is the richest woman in North American history. No disrespect to none of them. No disrespect to none of them. I like all of them, right? But can somebody tell me how you got all these billionaires and all these millionaires and you ain't got a single black Wall Street in black America? Somebody help me out. What am I missing here, Negro beings? What am I missing here? Listen, I respect my brother Kanye, no disrespect. But if Kanye want to impress me, build a black Wall Street. No disrespect to Jay-Z. If Jay-Z want to impress me, build a black Wall Street. No disrespect to Oprah. No disrespect to LeBron James. But if you want to impress me, build a black Wall Street. Go buy one of these towns for sale. Go buy one of these towns for sale. Go buy one of these towns for sale and open up an independent school, a real independent school, okay? A real independent black bank, a real independent black hospital, a real independent black supermarket, a real independent black manufacturing sector to give jobs to black people. Do that. Do that, and I will praise your name from now until eternity. Do that. Because until you do that, you have done nothing for black folks. I don't care how many people you paid to get out of jail. That's good. I commend you. But that's not changing nothing. I don't care how many documentaries on police brutality you pay for. That's good. I commend you. But that's not changing nothing. I don't care how many protests you go to. I don't care how many congressional hearings you sit in. I don't care how many protests, how many interviews you do. That means nothing. If you want to change black America, you build institutions that black people control. If you don't like the message, hop off the live. Worshiping money and materials. Negroes with 30 cars, 40 cars, 50 cars. But the neighborhood they come from still look the same. You know why? Black people have no obligation at all to their community. We have no obligation whatsoever to our community. We'll move out of the ghetto that made us who we are and never look back and never reach back to help another black person. And you wonder why we in the situation we in right now.
And I'm going to reach and I'm going to say the black people have no obligation to our community. That's probably the biggest thing. But we're just coming out the crack epidemic. All right. Well, I'm not. Yeah, we're about. Yeah, I'd say we're about maybe 10 to 15 years removed from the crack epidemic because it really wasn't the crack wasn't over in 2000 or 2001. The crack was still going strong. Now, it might not have been as detrimental in the community as when it first hit because it had been there for so long and it kind of ran its course. And people started actually realizing and seeing not just what crack was doing to our community, but actually what the laws that they passed for this type of stuff and how unfair that was to the black people, black community, and things of that nature. So, crack was still going, but, they did, try to change some laws and some rules to, make it so, because it wasn't as bad as it was when it first happened. But I'm saying that to say, before crack, we had communities, neighborhoods. We had black-owned businesses on damn near every corner. I can remember being young going to black-owned businesses, people with corner stores. I'm buying, 10-cent bag of chips or 25-cent bags of chips and penny candy, okay? That's how I used to buy bags of penny candy, okay? You get 100 pieces of candy for $1, okay? Black-owned stores. All right, in the black community. Now I was born in '79, so this was a little bit before the crack epidemic started. So I was a little, I had some time before crack really hit the streets. It really hit the scenes like that, right? So when crack when crack came, that destroyed a lot of the black businesses in the community. You know, it destroyed a lot of black people. Shit, business owners was becoming crackheads, so they can't run a business and smoke crack at the same time. One of them got it. One of them gonna go. So that was one thing that happened. Crack in our neighborhoods that really destroyed our neighborhoods. But that was one of the things that, you know, before crack, there was a pride in being from your neighborhood, being from a neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like, you was proud to be from that neighborhood, and, you know, you guys kept that neighborhood clean, all that good stuff. You know, it was the village, you know. Kids knew all the neighbors knew all the kids, all that good stuff. So when crack hit, the mentality changed in the hood, period. Like, before crack, it was about, okay, I'm gonna live here, stay in the hood, you know, give me a store, give me a business, and give back to my community, stay in my community and better my community. That was the mentality before crack. After crack, during crack, the mentality was, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, I gotta move. Like, I can't live here in this area because it is infested with crackheads. People selling crack everywhere. You got people trying to rob you and shit. People kicking in your door. Like, it went from a good neighborhood to a bad neighborhood. Okay, to where people was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm moving. I'm leaving. I don't fuck my business. You know, whatever. I'm out of here because, you know, this crack, I can't be around this. I can't raise my kids around this because we already know that's not gonna work. So you had a lot of black families moving out of the neighborhood to the suburbs. Okay. Now, when they got to the suburbs, if they were previous business owners, unless you instilled business and business ownership in your child, which a lot of people didn't because they were in the mentality of, you know, I want my kid to be a kid. I want my son to be one of the kids, a child to be a child and have fun and play. Listen, you can go into any Chinese store, Chinese restaurant, any Arab restaurant, any Arab corner store. I don't know about Jewish, but I'm quite sure if you go into a Jewish store, it'll probably be the same. But you can go into all those establishments, and they will have their children working there at young ages, okay? I'm talking about, you got children fucking 10 years old working the register already, okay? Because they've taught them and instilled in them that this is your life. Yeah, you got a job. I mean, yeah, you go to school, but when you get out of school, you come here because this is the family business, and you're going to run the family business because we want to have generational wealth and want to be able to do what we want to do when we want to do it. As well as when you start at a young age, you don't have to worry about too much talking back and kickback, you know, because now you're at a young age, you're starting them out. They are already going to be molded to be somewhat business oriented and business minded. So as they get older, they already know, I'm going to be running a business when I get older. I'm going to be running a business when I get older. Whereas with black people, we don't have that mentality. We don't have those business. We don't have that. We don't have many businesses. And like I said, the businesses that we did have, our children didn't want to run them, or we didn't instill. I ain't gonna say our children didn't want to run them, but we didn't instill the mentality that they would need to even want to be business owners and run a business. So we, you know, crack is a big part of it, but I will give myself and ourselves some responsibility and say that we did drop the ball in that way, because yes, the black community used to be full of black businesses, but we sold those businesses, got rid of those businesses because we wanted to move to the suburbs and get away from crack. That was really why a lot of them did what they did. And like I said, as well as you have some people who had businesses and they was like, hey, I'm going to pass the business down to my son. And your son, you ain't told him nothing about the business. All he ever knew was he hated the business. You used to take him all the time when he didn't like it. So no sooner than you say you can have the business, he like, shit, I don't want this business. I hate this business. I'm going to sell this. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of different things we can add to black people not having an obligation to their community.
Let's go to the next peculiar characteristic of the Negro psyche. We already talked about total rejection of African identity. Black people hate being black. Lord. Did you know skin bleaching? Is it a $4 million or $4 billion industry? I forget. I didn't know this. I think it's billion. Is it billion? I think it's billion.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken,
about $1 billion.
Skin bleaching is a $4 billion industry.
You should see them over in Jamaica. They go ham on that skin
$4
stuff.
billion.
They be looking totally different colors.
Black people, $4 billion a year to lighten your skin. $30 billion to straighten your hair. You hate being black. Oh God, you hate being black. This is why the white power structure has been able to manipulate us out of the power conversation with words like multicultural, people of color, non-white Americans, disadvantaged communities. Yes, you love those words. Black people love to be called a person of color. Black people love to be called a minority. Black people love to be called non-white American. Black people love to be called a disadvantaged American. You like to be called anything except black or African. You hate it. And because the white man knows you hate being black, he slides you over into this category called minority, and he gives all the minority set-aside money. He gives all the minority set-aside money. He gives all the minority set-aside money to all the other groups.
But us.
And we don't get nothing. And then we get mad when we don't get nothing. And the reason you don't get nothing is because you don't want to stand up and stand out and be who you are. If we refuse to be included in any other group except American African, if we did that, the whole policies would have to shift. If we refused to be lumped in with all the other non-white groups, so-called minority groups, they would have to change the whole policy of this country. Because so much of the policy is written for minorities. The American African should be a protected category, a uniquely protected category due to our uniquely different history and experience. Nobody in this country has been through what we've been through. Nobody.
Facts.
Nobody in this country has been through what we've been through. Nobody.
Facts. I'm gonna leave it there, but I definitely got more for sure. I think he has a couple more points he wants to push out, so I'm definitely gonna I don't know why I said push out like that. It's weird. But yeah, so www.blackfathersofcleveland.com. Really appreciate the love. I'm going to drop another one. Of course, I think there's I'm probably gonna have about 4 parts to this. But yeah, that was deep. And like I said, there's no obligation to our community because they destroyed our community. People are just now coming back to the community. People, I'm not gonna lie, I remember like the crack epidemic was crazy, man. People was rushing, was trying their best to find good jobs and good opportunities so they can move out of the hood. I don't care if I got a business here or not, I am leaving. because crack and these crackheads, as well as these drug dealers, were out of control. Out of control. So I see why we're in the position we're in now. But once again, I don't blame it all on us, because if it wasn't for crack, I don't think we would have left our communities the way that we did. So, but make sure you drop a comment. Like I stated, guys, leave a suggestion, man. If you guys have any ideas or anything that you want me to speak on or do a reaction to, drop a comment. I'd love to do a reaction and a video to it, as well as I'm going to keep shouting out my subscribers. We appreciate the love. And www.blackfathersofcleveland.com. That's our website, so you can check it out and see what we've been doing recently in the community. We appreciate the love. Peace.